Warning, this video isn't for anyone under the age of 16. If you're under 16 years old, please leave the video now because we do get into some adult type shit. Thank you. Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy CharlesISanimeWorld, and welcome to my review of the Elusive Samurai Chapter 2. Before I get into this review, I just want to thank all of you guys for showing me love for last week's review, with all the likes and all the views. I mean, like, you really showed me that you want to hear more about this series and more of me talking about this series. So here we are, guys. Chapter 2 of the Elusive Samurai. Now, to be honest with you guys, it wasn't as good as last week's, the first chapter. It wasn't as good, okay? Not to say that it was bad, it just wasn't as good as the first chapter. Now, I don't know, is that a red flag or not? Because normally when you have a chapter, a follow-up chapter to a new series, chapter 1 has to be phenomenal and chapter 2 has to be just as good. So I don't know, guys. Let me know in the comment section below. Did you guys think this chapter was better than last week's, or do you think it was just as good? So let's talk about this chapter of the Elusive Samurai. Oh, and like always, guys, this will be a podcast style review. I will have a few images on screen, but for the most part, it will be my voice. So I highly encourage you guys, if you're doing something else, just open up another tab and just listen to me talk about the Elusive Samurai for the next 5 to 10 minutes, okay? So the focus this week is the fallout from Ashikage's rebellion and his betrayal to the former leaders of the shogunate. We also are introduced to Hojo's uncle, Godaiin. Now this Godaiin dude, I was reading this chapter and I was thinking to myself, I like this character. He's a sleazeball, he's an asshole, he's treacherous. He's a great first villain for Hojo to take on. This showcase off his abilities, his newly found abilities. Well, I mean, he's always been able to be elusive, but now he's going to implement those elusive abilities into combat. So I can't wait to see how that works out as well. Hojo finds out his older half-brother is dead. Now, if you guys remember last week, he was the first casualty of Ashikage's rebellion. We saw him get beheaded, okay? And not only does Hojo find out that his brother is dead, he also finds out that his uncle was the one that sold him out. Now, I was sitting back reading this. I was like, oh my goodness, his uncle sold him out. And that's one thing that you can always say. I don't care even if you're family. DTA, in the words of Stone Cold Steve Austin, don't trust anybody. Okay? I'm serious. Anyway, he finds out that his uncle sold out his older half-brother. Basically, while this rebellion was happening and all this chaos, Hojo's uncle, Godaiin, found his older brother and said, come with me. I'm going to save you. I'm going to keep you safe. He took him to this cave and he says, well, wait right here. I'm going to go find your brother and so I can save him as well. That's what I'm assuming what happened. Then what Godaiin does is that he alerts Ashikage's men where the brother is, shows it to him, and then Ashikage's men capture the brother and behead him. Now, after hearing all of that and Hojo dealing with everything that's going on with Ashikage's betrayal, finding out that his brother is dead, finding out that his uncle sold out his brother, he just barfs. He just can't take it. Like, it's just too much to handle. Now, why did Godaiin do it? For glory. But this man sold out a 9-year-old, and even Ashikage's men wanted nothing to do with him. That says a lot. That the guy that you sold out, to Ashikage's men, it was like, man, this is such an asshole, such a scumbag. We don't even want him around. So what Godaiin does is that he realizes that if he wants his fame, if he wants his glory, he has to go find Hojo and give him the Ashikage. So it turns out as well that this guy Godaiin, who I thought was just a sniveling piece of trash, is an extremely skilled fighter, okay? And this will actually be Hojo's first big battle. I'm just glad that he actually has some help because this dude actually seems like he's very formidable. I mean, did you see how he cut down that tree behind him like it was nothing? Priest Sawa decides to wake up Hojo with a kiss. And do you guys remember what I said last week? Do you remember what I said last week? that instead of the Elusive Samurai, this series should be called the Elusive Shota Samurai, because I'm telling you guys this. Rule 34 is going to have a fields day with Hojo, with the priest Sawa, with everybody, with Ashikage and Hojo. It's going to go crazy. I'm telling you, Rule 34 is going to have a fields day, especially if this gets an anime. If this gets an anime, it's definitely going to get Rule 34. Hojo is going to get Rule 34 so hard because you have all of it right here. You have all the seedlings right here. And not even Rule 34. If they want to give out a dojin, listen, I'm telling you, it's going to be that much easy. The priest literally wanted to kiss Hojo to wake him up. We also find out from the priest's followers that he likes to watch children sleep. What the fuck? Well, he is a priest. Let me stop. But he does also give Hojo his very first blade, and that sword is what he's going to use to take out his uncle Godaiin. Now, I will say one last thing to wrap up this review for this week. I love the part when Godaiin was running to Hojo, because Hojo was standing there looking very elegant, if I do say so myself. He had a few fake tears in his eyes, and then Godaiin was running with this fake happiness to see him, like, my nephew, I'm so happy to see you. I can't believe that you're still alive. How are you doing? And Hojo was like, man, get that fake shit out of my face, man. Oh man, it was a good chapter. It was a good chapter. Looking back on it now, I have to admit it was a good chapter. It wasn't as good as last week's, but it was a good follow-up chapter. It wasn't great, but it was good. But yeah, that'll do it. Thank you guys so much. That's been my review this week for Elusive Samurai Chapter 2. I can't wait to see how this fight between nephew and uncle goes. I think Hojo has it easily. I can't wait to see him implement his evasion techniques into fighting. I mean, we saw a little glimpse of it within Chapter 1, so within Chapter 2 it should be even better. But hey, that'll do it. Thank you guys so much. I will catch you guys next week, and hey, sayonara, suckers.